الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأصلي وأسلم على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين. I greet you all, brothers and sisters, with the greetings of Islam, with the greetings of peace, with the greetings of the people of paradise. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of them. Allahumma ameen. With me today is a very, very dear brother. And his name is Tay, but before I go into introducing him, and inshaAllah ta'ala, rather than me speaking of him, he will speak about himself, inshaAllah. A Shahada, really, we hear about Shahadas every now and then. We hear about people being converted to the religion of Islam, becoming Muslims. This happens often, especially when you go on YouTube. But my discussion with this young man, before him becoming a Muslim, is something that still resonates with me today. Wallahi, the few words that he's going to share with you, when he said this to me before Islam, I looked at him and I said, wow, you're really a one of a kind. I looked at him and I said to myself, this is a rarity. He's someone unique, someone different. And he wasn't even a Muslim then. So without going too long and without talking too much, I would like for him, if you don't mind, to give us a brief introduction of yourself, and then we'll kind of share with the audience here what appealed to you about Islam, what caught your attention, what captivated you to bring you here with us today.
My name is Tay Town. I grew up in Mississippi, Mississippi. I was raised in a small home, two sisters and my aunt. And what's funny is my grandfather, he was a pastor, he was a preacher. I went because my family told me to, but as I grew older, I started getting into my gangs and bad activity. But in my gang, in that gang, they taught me principle and knowledge. And I come to understand that in between the gang, they don't want me to eat, swine. They wanted me to be a man of principle, a man of understanding and knowledge. And, I had a father and all that, so I grew up, trying to understand knowledge and how the world, works and evolves. And as I got older, I told myself, hey, I need to be a man of principle, I need to be a man of honor, loyalty and justice. So I moved up here from Mississippi, because I got into a lot of bad stuff. I want to change my life. I know I was known of Islam, but the internet tried to make everything seem worse than what it really is. And they don't know how we really are. So yeah, I moved up here, stayed on my own, went to college, went to school, came to Menards, started working. I met Youssef, we always used to talk sometime, and one particular time I saw a woman come through, and I'm like, man, if that was my wife, I wouldn't let her come outside like that. And growing in the Christian home, whatever, it seems that if they come and they try to talk to me about Jesus and all that, and use the name in vain, but at the same time they just like, bad people or whatever you call it. So I used to tell myself, I'm not going to judge the people anyway, they got their own views. But as I got talking to Youssef, I used to always tell them, like, I had people come to me all the time trying to talk to me about Christianity, and I used to pay attention, but I never used to listen. I was just like, all right, whatever. How can you tell somebody about something that you're not even showing strong belief in? Because you say one thing, but you go out in the world, you do other things. So every time we had a second, I used to talk to him, he's always telling me, you seem like a Muslim. You seem like you should be Islam. And I always told him, yeah, the way I was raised and stuff I become, I think I probably am. I feel like it was always in me. I just had the little guidance that can actually bring me strong forward to it. And we were just always talking. I met this other guy named Michael. And he just told me, I forget what it is.
Take the shot.
Yeah, he told me.
Let me start. How old are you, Tay?
I'm 22.
Okay, so this man is 22. This man is 22. He's not a Muslim. And he sees some people shopping at the local store, and he's finding it difficulty putting two and two together. And this is what was remarkable, and this is what caught my attention when he said, I cannot believe how some men, he said, did you see that girl back there? I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm married and I have to lower my gaze, so I wasn't looking around. So he said, did you see her back there? I said, no. He said, did you see how she's dressed? I was like, no. What bothered him is not being judgmental, but what bothered him is, he said, subhanAllah, how is it that some men can leave their women or allow their women to leave the house this way? He's not a Muslim. But what I'm trying to get to here is his fitrah, his inherent nature, his natural disposition that Allah created him with is still there. It's still there. And not being a Muslim, being 22, coming from his background, subhanAllah, and he sees that and he's viewing that to be weird. It's odd. How can a man leave, or allow his girlfriend, wife, his counterpart, leave the house like that? Now let me ask you this though, Tay. What is it that you see in Muslim women that gives you this appeal of Islam? In other words, when you see Muslim women covered up that way, displaying their modesty, how do you view that?
I see it as they respect themselves, they respect their body, their nature. And for most of all, they respect us as their husbands and men to go out and cover themselves up and not expose themselves to this world or judgment. And I respect them.
I just want to say a few words myself. That when a person accepts the religion of Islam, becomes a Muslim, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, Al-Islam yahdimu ma qablah, that the religion of Islam, it destroys everything that was before it. So in other words, if you had any bad sins, any mischief that you did before, that is something you can completely forget about and don't have to worry about carrying that shoulder with you in Islam. And that's of the generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, exalted is He, that you don't have to worry about what you did before. The tawbah and entering in the fold of Islam, both of these, they destroy what came before. Now the other thing also to mention for new Muslims, I think is important, that any good thing that you did, now for the contrary, the bad, you forget. But when if you did something good in the past, if you donated money, if you bought someone a donut, right, if you borrowed someone $1, any good thing that you did in the past, this inshaAllah ta'ala, it will be in his scroll on Judgment Day. Hakim ibn Hizam radiallahu anhu kama rawa dhalika az-Zubayr an Hakim ibn Hizam, he used to do a lot of good in the Jahiliyyah. He says, atahannatu biha. In other words, he would do it wanting a reward. So the Prophet ﷺ, when the Prophet was asked, will he get rewarded for this? He says, aslamta ala ma salafa laka min al-khayr. Or min khayr. In other words, that he will get the reward of all the good that he did in the past. It will, subhanAllah, it will now move in to the scrolls of Islam. And this is of the generosity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can decide your own will. Is anybody forcing you? Is anybody pointing a sword to your throat? Besides me, no one is. Okay, so no one is pointing no one is having a sword behind his back. There's nothing back here, right? Because Muslims were accused of that.
Yeah, they do a lot.
And he's legitimately coming from another religion to the fold of Islam. He's not a fake commodity out there. So, what you're going to say is you can say it in English and then we'll say it in Arabic. I bear witness. I bear witness.
I bear witness.
There is no deity.
There is no deity
Worthy of worshiping.
worthy of worshiping
Except Allah.
Allah.
And that Muhammad is the last and final messenger. Now you can say it with me in Arabic. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري. يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد. في سكون الليل أدعو في سجودي، والدجى حولي سواد في سوادي. يا رؤوفا يا رحيما يا حليما، يا كريما ما لفضلك من نفادي. يا سميعا يا مجيبا يا عظيما، اهدني يا خالق السبع الشهاد. أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي، حينما رددت يا رب العباد. وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري. يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد. أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي، حينما رددت يا رب العباد. وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري.